Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest right now. We got wonderful rain and cold. Today, we're going to be talking about whether or not you should be pulling for Noctis. It's going to be kind of a up and down question. He's a very complicated unit, and I think for a lot of people, he's actually not going to be right for your account, and you might be better off just investing in Prompto and potentially the Vision card. But let's talk about it, and let's go ahead and dig in. All right, everybody. Now, we are at that time of year where Black Friday has come, and of course, the Amazon App Store is having an amazing Black Friday offer currently. Make sure you check the link in my description down below. Basically, you're just going to have to buy the Black Friday bundles, and you'll get a rebate if you are on the Amazon App Store, and that includes the Select UR and Select Vision card ticket bundles that are going to be there as well. And before you ask, I do not know if they have double cost units or Vision cards on them. But should you be pulling for Noctis, Aranea, and either of the Vision cards? Should you be maxing Prompto out right away? That's kind of the question of this video, and it's a question that I don't take lightly, and I think there's a lot of nuance with this, where previously when you had like Final Fantasy X, when you had Final Fantasy 7 even, right? Almost, Final Fantasy 7, you had a clear-cut case of like, two of the units were really good, two of the units were really bad. Cloud, you should immediately level. Tifa, you should immediately level, right? Final Fantasy X, Tidus and Yuna, both incredible. Auron, okay, right? Like, not the worst unit, but not the best unit. Final Fantasy 15 is a collaboration where I actually think has a almost reverse pull priority for a lot of people. I think, Noctis is a very complex unit. His AI is not going to be the best. He's going to be a unit that you're going to have a lot of setup with in order to make work effectively. So that's going to that's going to require potentially GL Zazan. That's going to require, maybe Pumpkin Spice Frederica if you've gone down that route, right? You're going to have a lot of Earth units, potentially Earth Vision cards as well, to make him work. And, if you didn't pull Oberon, if you didn't get Alophocalus, you are already like nose down, like in the odds of using and utilizing Noctis. So I think, we need to keep that in mind, is that Noctis is a difficult unit. He's not universal, he's very complex, and he is going to be a unit that is by himself not going to change the entire game. Now, in terms of the other units that are coming out, Prompto, I'm going to assume everybody's going to slow build. Aranea, I have not heard many good things about, and while she is an Ice Pierce attack goddess that I love, and I will pull heavily for, I recognize that that might mean she's not going to be very dominant in the future, especially as JP is kind of releasing a Warrior of the Crystal that's going to be an ice striking unit. So strike may kind of be the future for ice units as well. So, maybe there'll be an Ice Pierce meta in the future, but right now it is not looking good. And because of that, I'm going to actually say hold off on Aranea. So because of that, I'm actually going to list kind of a awkward tier list in terms of pulling. I think for a lot of people, especially people who have limited characters or limited resources invested in the game, pulling on Noctis is a bad idea. If you're someone who has, maybe Earth units leveled, but you don't have GL Zazan, or you don't have Oberon, or you're not planning on getting them, you might not need Noctis. You might want his Vision card. I think his Vision card is probably the, best thing out of everything that's coming with Final Fantasy 15, right? That's going to be a Vision card that gives Earth attack units 35% attack and 18% dexterity party-wide, is a very powerful Vision card. So, I think that Vision card, because it is limited, right? And we don't know what type of other Earth units are coming out in the future, that alone is a reason where this Vision card is so powerful. If you don't have you need this. Like, this is going to be a defining Vision card for Earth compositions in the years to come. And if you don't have it, you are always going to be behind because it is a collaboration vision card. So I think first and foremost, the thing you need to know is that vision card the Noctis and Lunafreya vision card is vital, and everybody should pull for it. Now, I think that should be your number one priority. Looking at the other vision card, though, it is not as vital. We're, of course, talking about Aranea's vision card. It's going to give party-wide Pierce attack up and AoE resist up, but it's like not the full amount of Pierce attack up, so you're most likely going to have another card that gives Pierce attack up. It's also going to give Ice units critical hit plus 25 when it's fully leveled. And you have to ask, is Ice in a world where it needs that critical hit? Other elements, I would actually say that critical hit rate plus, is actually really good. It might be the right thing that you need to make that element a little more viable in PvE, but this is not what you really need for Ice at all. And I think most people, if you have an Ice slash composition, like you're just going to look at this vision card and be like, nope, like we're just going to nope right out. Right, like the relevant units that this vision card is going to apply to would be Pierce-based units like Victoria, Aranea, if you're going to go that route. And it's really clear right now on the JP side that there is no Ice Pierce meta. As much as we have Victoria EX, as much as we have Aranea, with Setia coming out, with Tina or Tifa coming out as well, Fire is going to be in a position to absolutely obliterate Ice in the future. And so I do not see a reason why you would need this vision card. In a similar vein, Aranea herself, I don't see why you would need her. Personally, she's my waifu. I will pull for her because she is the most amazing waifu ever in the game. But I think for most people, Aranea is going to be a novelty. They don't need to pull for her. She's not going to be, incredible or viable to anybody's kit long term. Very similar to how kind of like Oron is like icing on the cake, right? Oron is wonderful, but if you didn't pull for him, you have Velric, right? And you still have Gilgamesh and Laswell, and Ice Slash is still going to work. Very similarly, Ice Slash is still going to work whether or not you pull Aranea or not. And Ice Pierce is not going to work still whether you pull Aranea and pull Aranea's VC. So I would say those two are hard skips, actually. I would say the only thing that is a must pull, if you are a player looking at this banner, if you are excited for Final Fantasy 15, is going to be that vision card. Now, specifically, if you're looking for me to say, this is what you need to pull Noctis, it's a really hard decision to make. Noctis is a complicated unit, very powerful unit, but very complicated. And he does have some AI issues. If you go look at, various JP videos, you will see that there are AI issues in terms of his buffing abilities, right? That's going to be his movement-based buffing abilities. That's going to be his Knight of Kings, and that's going to be his total AP over the course of a longer fight. Now, granted, JP does not have GL Zazan, right? So the combination of GL Zazan, Oberon, and Noctis might be enough to overcome these AP issues, right? Because the enemy may be dead before you even get a chance to kind of get in there. So there's lots of things with Noctis that you should consider. And I think Noctis is going to be one of those units that is very niche. And even I find myself wondering if I want to pull for him. For me, I did not pull on Pumpkin Spice Frederica. And so if I had Pumpkin Spice Frederica, if I had Pumpkin Spice Frederica's vision card, I might consider it. But even then, Noctis and his vision card just seems so much better than Pumpkin Spice Frederica. Like, I'm really glad I skipped her and her vision card and am going to be able to pull for Noctis now. So, that's kind of where I'm at, and that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull for Noctis so that I can complete a 3-man powerful Earth formation, right? Because my zombie Ryu isn't 120. I have Ketone, which would be a good 120. So like right now I could run GL Zazan, Ketone, Oberon, but I would really like to run Oberon, GL Zazan, and Noctis is what I think kind of the final formation of that's going to be. And that's less of an evasion composition and more of a brawler composition. And I'm kind of excited to see how that plays out in the future, since we see GL Zazan so much as an evasion based unit and less as a brawler, but he does have brawler capability in his kit. So that's kind of long-term what I'm thinking about. It's going to be an interesting couple of weeks because I'm not going to be doing Well, I mean, I'll be pulling Aranea, but even then I'm kind of wondering, maybe, like, I love my Ice Pierce waifus, but maybe it's worth waiting, right? Like, we have Christmas around the corner, you know, unless they're releasing another Ice Pierce unit for Christmas, Aranea is not going to really change anything. So lots to think about, guys. I'm curious to see what you think down below in the comment section. As always, I will be pulling Noctis tonight on stream. That's has been and always will be the plan. But I'm curious if you think Noctis is worth it for you to pull, or if in the long term you're waiting. I think most people are probably going to sleep on this and may actually just buy the Black Friday bundles and maybe like invest in another unit or a vision card. So anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching. As always, use my affiliate link dig.gs/coins, and remember, there is the Thanksgiving deal going on starting tomorrow. And have a great rest of your day, and we're almost at that point where I can say Merry Christmas, but I'll say a Happy Thanksgiving, you guys. I'll see you guys later.